This is how a pro would play this situation, and this is you who plays without knowing the tricks that pros use. Here is the 20 standoff 2 tips which I know when I started because I've been there stuck in the same rank, winning one match only to lose on the next one. Then I realized something was missing in my gameplay. Starting off, I found out a best gun that works with my gameplay by understanding trick number 1, the gun mechanic. Picking up a gun, learning its recoil pattern and how it works in different situations will give you an advantage over your enemy because you kept playing with that gun for so long. Now you know how it works in every situation that you face in the game. Main aspect of it is controlling the recoil, which can also be done through movement, which brings us to the tip number 2, movement plus recoil. This is one of the mistakes that's missed by a silver player. You might know that more the movement, more the bullet spread. To gain accuracy while moving, it's important to use subtle movement. That's why pros use inner part of the joystick to move around the map, which gives a movement with lower bullet spread. In CSGO, it's called as calmness of the crosshair. So the tip number 3 is crosshair placement. By giving subtle movements, it avoids any shake in the crosshair, improving your aim by better positioning your crosshair. I already made a video on crosshair placement, and here are something that I missed in that video. As we know, we must peak the angle by placing the crosshair on the wall rather than peaking the angle by placing the crosshair on the open angle. And while clearing angle, you must place your crosshair on the edge of the wall. Clear the angle smoothly like this. But if you are moving into an open angle for a fight, it's better to place your crosshair much away from the wall because the enemy would swing wide in the close range fight. Keeping the crosshair away from the wall will give you a better chance of winning. Even better, you can pre-aim the enemy by the sound of the footstep, which is tip number 4, sound sense. In lower ranks, player doesn't care about the sound of their footstep. It's important to not to reveal the footstep to opponents as much as it is also important to know the enemy's position by the sound, which gives you a great advantage to decide on how to position yourself to take down an enemy as less damage as possible by using trick number 5, pixel picking. When you have the info on the position of the enemy, it makes game much easier. Now you can position yourself where you have the better chance of winning. Pros always avoid open fights to reduce as much damage as possible by using pixel peaks in the map. They understand that damage cannot be healed in this game. This helps them to survive much longer in the game. They also avoid over rushing through the map because of tip number 6, map positioning. In both CT and T side, there is a spot in every map from where you must not push beyond it without having any info on the opponent. Terrorists must start clearing the angles from that position, whereas CT can hold the position such that it's difficult to plant in the side. There are few exceptions where we rush to surprise the enemy in random rounds. That's apart, it's better to take one at a time, maybe using some utility. Tip number 7, lineups. We use utilities to overpower on the enemies by gaining more space in the map. A molly would make them back off from the position that they're holding on. Stun would be better to get a entry frag. Same lineups can also be used by opponents, so avoid staying too close cause one nade might give damage to the entire team. So avoid doing tip number 8, stacking up. As I said, you must be far away, but you must be close enough to support them. It might also lead to a sandwich position where enemy are shooting you from both the sides. When you see teammates playing the game on one side of the map, make sure to stop the backstab and also the enemy pushing from the mid. So you might have to fight a 1v1 or 1v2. For that, you must avoid crouching whenever you see the enemy. Instead, know tip number 9, when to crouch. It's not bad to use crouch, but you must know when to use crouch. Using crouch for a recoil control is a bad idea cause Standoff 2 doesn't have that huge map. Most of the time it's a close or a mid-range fight, so use crouch as a means to dodge the bullet. Mixing with the tip number 10, peek and strafe. Strafe is a sideward movement that we give out of the cover to shoot the enemy. What we usually do is we strafe out of the cover and then crouch and shoot, or we can do it like a dong, one of the famous CSGO player who strafed strafe outwards but crouch strafing inwards. So this is how it looks, confusing the enemy, dodging the bullet. Two basic form of strafes are long and short. Short strafes are used in long range fight and long strafes are used in short range fight. It's the same concept as the peak. So peak is a combination of pre-aiming with better crosshair placement using the info of sound plus situation. Through sound you know where is the enemy, and through situation you decide how to peek. If enemy is far away, then you slow peek or jiggle peek. In close range you swing wider. It's a in-depth concept, so need a separate video on itself. To put it simply, most effective peek is one which surprises your enemy while dodging the bullet, which is one of the most forgotten tips in standoff. Tip number 12, dodge movement. In order to control recoil, players forgot about the dodge movement. When you don't have a cover in open fights, it's you and your aim against the opponent. If you add on a movement, your win rate increases. Mostly everyone use the basic dodge movement, which is strafing left or the right, and all-time favorite, crouching, and both doesn't seems to work that well. So introducing wiggle movement, I can show you how it works. Most of the time dodging bullet in open fight, move away from the crosshair and start strafing left and right with a crouch in between. Second dodge movement is double crouching. You need to crouch from both the side by strafing left and right. This would help you out to get out of losing situation most of the time. In standoff 2, no one even cared to give the movement to dodge the bullets. And I also like to do tip 13, baiting. So what is baiting? Instead of rushing towards the enemy without any advantage, you try to make your opponent to do a mistake. Simple technique is shooting one bullet and going back to the cover, waiting for the enemy to empty the mag, swinging wide away from the crosshair, taking enemy down by surprise. Then there is using pistol acid distraction, dropping the stun, making the noise, forces them to look away, ending with you securing the kill. It would be most helpful in tip 14, solo plays. Most of us don't have a team and we end up playing with random, and you know what happens next. So here is how to solo play in random lobby. Even before you start a gunfight, start collecting info. Where are the enemies? Where are your teammates? Keep checking where the fight is going on. Can you help in that to secure the kill? By positioning yourself in the better angle. Also knowing the lobby, whether it is one-sided or a 1v1. In 1v1 there will be only one good player in the each team. Then it's about securing your teammates. And if you keep losing the round, you can do tip 15, the boost. There is certain places in the map where you can use one of your teammates to boost the unexpected spot and securing the initial kill, breaking the flow of enemy's rush. If you really wanna win, try saving your teammates by tip number 16, cover fire. Rather than playing 1v1 against the opponent, playing 2 against 1 opponent has better chance of winning. You can also play from two different positions by staying far away but close enough to cover fire each other. If enemy is rushing towards your teammate, you can use tip number 17, suppressing. It's about shooting the angle that enemy possibly would rush towards the side. It slows down the rush, makes opponent to back off a bit. This works best in the allies mode because you have to just stop two players from planting. It also works as a warm up before the fight, improving your reflex because you already shoot that angle many times. Unless and until your gameplay become obvious to predict. So I brought tip number 18, the unpredictable gameplay. This is what sets apart the pro player. They exactly play opposite to what opponents are thinking. And by playing the most unpredictable gameplay, they become unstoppable from winning the round. Because they also know the planting strategy like tip 19, faking A. You might see players typing fake A in the chat. It simply means rushing towards the site A and making the opponent think that we are going to plant on the site A. That would make all the players playing in the side B to rush towards the site A. That's when we move towards the site B to plant the bomb, leaving one or two players behind just to suppress the enemy. While rushing back to B, consider not giving any footstep info. Now you can easily plant the bomb on the side B without even considering the enemy. It might not work well in a pro lobby, so you need to know tip number 20, the reverse faking. Here what we need to do is we need to rush
rush towards the site and shoot few bullets and fall back by giving footstep to the enemy, making them think that we are going to the site B. As soon as they go back to site B, we're gonna rush back to A, secure the site and plant the bomb. Out of this, there is few of the tips that really help me to rank up. Before that, if you really made this far in the video, consider supporting the channel. Tip that really helped me is silent walk, moving fast and not revealing the footsteps. Using joystick to aim improved the accuracy. Positioning yourself in the pixel peak. If you know enemy is rushing towards you, consider practicing with your favorite weapon before going into the rank mode. I know there are problems like lags and ping issue, most of all the hackers, but if you really wanna rank up, consider building a team. You can always join the Discord to make team. Already made a channel for different rank. Links in the description of the channel. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching.